Good morning, girls. Can you hear me?
Good morning, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is the slide visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, so yesterday we were studying the establishment of enterprises, and under that we saw that there are 3 points that we need to keep in mind. Firstly, setting up the objectives, then positioning the enterprise, and finally, uh, no, there were two steps. Firstly, setting up the objectives and the positioning of the enterprise. Then we saw how we can develop a business plan. So, was there any doubt? Anything that you did not understand? Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll move on now. Next, we come to the idea processing and selection. So, once, as we spoke here, that we have to create a business plan. Okay. So, when we are creating a business plan, the most important element of the business plan is the business idea. The idea or the concept or the product that or service that you have selected, the entire business plan has to be about it. Okay. For example, if I've selected to maybe manufacture a different technology smartphones, okay, smartphones that maybe are transparent, okay. So if I want to um, create a business plan for this idea, then all these points would be relating to that product. Okay, sales revenue of that product, market researching for the cell phone, okay, choosing a site, production plan, all these would be related to the idea that we have finally selected. Now, this idea is the most important element of starting a business. Once we select the idea, only after that we can move forward. If we do not have the idea or the business plan or the product or service, there is nothing that we can talk about, or there's nothing that we can plan for production. Good business ideas must be capable of being converted into feasible projects. Once these ideas are discovered, screening and testing of these ideas is done. Okay, so a good business idea is usually a feasible one. Now, feasibility we have already discussed. Can somebody tell me what feasibility means? Tell me, what do you understand by feasibility? We have discussed this earlier in the class. Nobody? Okay, so feasibility usually means, if I'm saying that a product of the production
Ma'am.
of certain, yes, somebody wants to say?
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay.
Explainable feasibility means, I think probably.
I was not able to understand what you said. It was not clear. Can you say it again?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
Ma'am, fizzy means probability.
Yes, somewhat probability. Um, Actually, it means doability. Okay, if I'm saying that a particular product or a business idea is feasible, it means, please mute your mic, please. So when I say that a particular when I say that a particular product or business idea is feasible, it means it is doable. It means it is possible, practically possible with the existing resources and technology to produce that product. Okay, that is what feasibility means. Now, feasibility can be of different types. Like they can be financial feasibility, where we see that whether or not it is possible to produce that product with the available funds or budget that we have in the business. Then there can be technical feasibility. The technical feasibility would mean uh, trying to find out whether it is possible to produce that product with the existing technology. Like if I prepare a business plan to create a time machine, now is it possible for me to create a time machine with the existing technology level? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
Because there is no technology available currently that can help us in creating a time machine. Because if it was available, somebody or the other may have already created it, right? So this is what feasibility means. So when we say that we have a good business idea, it usually means that the production or the actual creation of that idea into a real business is possible. Okay. Now, once I have checked the feasibility, uh, there are various tests or the various exams or steps that it has to go under, so that we can finalize whether the product or the idea is actually doable or is actually profitable or not. So once the idea is discovered, screening and testing of these ideas is done. The following considerations are significant in the evaluation of the business. So, what are the steps? First is technical feasibility. So, we already discussed what technical feasibility is. Technical feasibility means technically possible to produce with the existing technology. Okay. Then, commercial viability. What is commercial viability? Commercial viability means whether or not it is possible to produce the product and sell it with a profit. Okay. Commercially, commerce means anything related to trade or business. Okay. So is it a good idea or a good product from the point of view of doing business with it? Okay. When we decide for a product to sell in the market, we have to consider that there will be cost incurred in the production of that product. Now that cost has to be below the existing market rate in order for me to earn some profit. Okay, if the existing market rate of a smartphone, the minimum price of a good smartphone is maybe say 15,000 rupees, I should be able to create that product in less than 10,000 rupees. The cost should be less than 10,000. Only then it is possible for me to market or sell that product, and I can say that it is commercially viable. Okay, so commercial viability is tested by seeing the potential of a product to be able to be sold in a profitable way. Okay, then compatible with the promoter. So compatible with the promoter, it should be the promoter or the basically we mean to say that the marketing activities or the promotion activities should be possible. Like there are various rules and regulations for various products that cannot be marketed or promoted in the country, like any kind of harmful products like liquor, any kind of alcohol, any kind of tobacco. Okay, these cannot be openly marketed in the country. You may have always seen that whenever these brands of alcohol or liquor they advertise, they never show the real product in the advertisement. They only advertise the label or the brand name because of the regulations by the government. Okay, so it should be compatible with the promoter and compatible with government regulations. Okay, then the cost of the project, like Wills usually produces cigarettes, but they cannot advertise their cigarettes. So what they do is they advertise their lifestyle brand, the Wills lifestyle brand. Okay, then the cost of the project. So the cost has to be calculated, and if the cost is too high, the business idea is usually not taken up. And the risk in the project, there has to be, now since the very first day we have been discussing that risk taking is a feature that every entrepreneur should be able to accomplish, but not just any risk. Okay, an entrepreneur does not blindly take up risk. They have to take calculated risk. Okay, any kind of risk is not we can say dealable with the entrepreneur. You have to be very alert, and you have to keep in mind that not all types of risks are not possible to, you can say, overcome or undertake. Okay, so we have to keep in mind that we take risk, but we take calculated risk. Now what is calculated risk? The entrepreneur has to judge or forecast if in any case he or she suffers losses, will they be able to overcome the loss? Do they have the required resources to overcome the losses? Only then they take up the risk. Then many more criteria can be added for assessing the profitability of an idea. It is necessary to analyze and compare the pros and cons of various factors. A selection matrix may be prepared for this purpose. Now there are various techniques that are used in order to select the best idea. Okay, sometimes some entrepreneurs use SWOT analysis. Now what is SWOT analysis? Does anybody know what SWOT analysis is? Yes, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what is it? Tell me.
SWOT means strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats of the organization.
Yes, very good.
हमें से
Go on.
means मतलब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अपनी स्ट्रेंथ्स और वीकनेसेस को कंपेयर करके उसको मतलब एनालाइज करते हैं कि हमारी कहाँ पे स्ट्रेंथ्स हैं और कहाँ वीकनेसेस हैं, और उसके बाद जो प्लान हम करेंगे तो हमारी कहाँ अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ है और कहाँ हमें थ्रेट्स मिल रहे हैं.
Yes, very good. So, as Madhvi explained, that SWOT analysis is a technique where we try to judge the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities in the market, the threats in the markets. Okay, and after doing this analysis, we create a matrix, and then we find out, depending on the points, that the number of points in each of the blocks, that whether we should consider taking up this project or not. Now, SWOT analysis applies to a lot of things. It applies to business, it applies to personal life, it applies to maybe a course that you want to do. Okay, so you can do SWOT analysis for everything. All right. So SWOT analysis is a technique that can help you decide or select anything or make a decision about anything. Okay, similarly there are other matrices as well that help you in a similar way. Okay, so many more criteria can be used for this purpose, and their pros and cons. Pros and cons means positives and negatives have to be compared in order to find out whether we should take up the project or not. Okay, then once we have selected the idea, the next step is to set the goals. So setting of goals is to keep their venture alive and well. Entrepreneurs must set goals before launching their venture. After choosing a profitable business idea, the entrepreneur must define goals. The key to convert an idea into venture is scatter our efforts rather than concentrate them in setting goals. Entrepreneurs must decide what needs immediate attention and what needs long range planning. Okay, so the next step after selection of the idea is to set the goals. What are the targets that we are planning to achieve? What are the goals that we are planning to achieve in the near future and in the far future? Okay, so these goals are short term as well as long term. Okay, so these things have to be set, these goals have to be set in order to select the best idea, in order to reach the success or reach the objective of your business. All right, so choosing a profitable idea, after choosing the profitable idea you have to define your goals. Unless and until you have a target or a goal to achieve, the organization will not work effectively. Like, for example, you come to the college, okay, and on leaving the college, you obviously know that when you leave college, the destination, the next destination that you have to reach is your home, right? So you already know in your mind that from here I have to reach my home. Now, only because you know where you want to reach, only then can you select the right route which leads to your house, right? Now, if you do not know where you have to go, will you be able to select the right path? Yes or no? You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
So setting of goals is very important. Okay, unless and until we know where we want to reach, we will not be able to take the right path to reach there. All right, then next we come to raising funds. So next point is to once we have selected the target or the goals, we next come to raising of funds or collection of capital or finance. Now, we can make any plan of business or enterprise without finance, it is incomplete. Therefore, arranging finance is an essential task. An entrepreneur has to collect finance from financial sources and means. We can divide the financial sources into two parts. So basically, collection of financial or finance in general is, you may have read about it, that finance is the lifeblood of business. Without money or without capital, no business can survive even one single day. All right, so it is like the lifeblood of business. Now, every entrepreneur has a choice to either invest their own money into the business or take loan from somewhere. Okay, usually every entrepreneur takes up loan or asks somebody else to fund their business, so that it is possible for them to be financially secure in case of for future mishaps. So there can be two parts of the sources. We'll see various other sources as well, but basically it is divided into two parts. First is ownership capital. It mainly consists of share capital. In companies, this capital is appropriated by shareholders. Okay, so ownership capital is the capital that is invested by the so-called owners of the company. In a partnership firm, the ownership is held by the capital partners, and in the sole proprietorship business, this capital is invested by the sole trader. Okay, an entry is issued before obtaining share capital in the company. Although equity capital consists of parity shares and predecessor shares, but in our country only parity shares are issued by the company to the public. Okay, so ownership capital is collection of capital from its owners. Now these owners may be real owners or they may be investors. Then next we come to debt capital. What is debt capital? Debt capital is capital that is a debt on us. Business undertakings also obtain loan capital. Companies also issue debentures to the public to get loan capital, on which a certain percentage of interest is paid at a fixed period of time. There are also variable or immutable. Variable means changeable. Okay, loan capital is also obtained from friends and associates in partnership and sole proprietorship business. Solitary means single. Okay, loans are also obtained from banks and financial institutions. On the security of property. So if you submit a collateral with the bank, they also can fund you. Then capital can also be obtained by accepting public money deposits. An entrepreneur can also get loans from banks, financial institutions, small scale industries, development corporation, etc. Okay, so these can be the basic two sources of getting funds or collecting funds. Now you can see here we have divided the sources of finance in three basic heads. Okay, so these are the three bases on which we have divided the collection of or sources of funds. So on the basis of period, long term equity, medium term equity and short term equity. So long term equity consists of equity shares, retained earnings. Now these points you all may have already studied. Okay, equity shares, retained earnings, preference shares, debentures, loans from financial institutions. These are long term equity. Then we come to medium term, loan from banks for a lesser period than long term. Then public deposits, loan from financial institutions again. Then short term is trade credit, factoring, banks, commercial papers, etc. Next, On the basis of ownership, one is owner's fund and one is borrowed fund. Now this we saw here, the owner fund and the debt fund. Okay, so equity shares, retained earnings are owner's fund, and debentures, loan from bank for financial institutions, public deposit, lease financing, these are from borrowings or debt funds. Okay, and on the basis of generation, internal sources can be equity share capital and retained earnings. So these are generated by the organization within itself, and external sources constitute of financial institutions, banks, preference shares, public deposit, debentures, lease financing, commercial papers, all these things. Okay, so these are the sources of finance. Now today we'll stop here. Tomorrow I'll also provide you with some of the details regarding these sources. Okay, so you can study in detail about them. Now these things you have already studied, so I'm not repeating it again and again. So I'll provide you the notes, just go through them, and if there's anything that you do not understand, you can ask me. Okay, so we'll stop here today,
Okay, ma'am.
and we'll continue